What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We haven't done one of these types of videos in a little while, but it's that time of year, and we're moving into June. June is coming up quick, and as most of you guys know, we do get a new map every June and every December, so if nothing has changed, we should be looking at a new map in about a month or so, month and a half. It's May 9th today, and the last couple great ones have been dropped at the same time as the new maps, so we're probably looking at a new map and a new great one in about a month's time here. So it's early May, so anytime in June, I would imagine we are going to be getting a new map and a new great one. Now, you guys have asked me a lot what I think the next map is going to be, and I think it would be pretty crazy, pretty insane if they didn't do Australia. Call of the Wild really does need an Australia map. As a lot of you guys know, the Hunter Classic has 2 Australia maps, and Call of the Wild does not have one. A lot of people want Africa 2.0. I don't think they're going to start doubling up on maps until they start to fill up some other places of the globe that they haven't touched yet. Canada being one, right? Maybe another Asia map if that's something that they're going to do. Australia, of course, needs one. Greenland doesn't have one. The UK doesn't have one. So I imagine with these next maps, I hope that with these next few maps, we're going to be getting maps in parts of the world that haven't been covered yet in Call of the Wild before they do start doubling up. As much as I would love to see Africa 2.0, as much as anybody else, I do think it would be cool to, you know, get a true Canadian map, get an Australia map, and maybe get a map in like Scotland, somewhere in the UK, before they start doubling up. So my guess, my prediction, now it's very hard to predict with Call of the Wild. A lot of the time, the things that they do come way out of left field, and nobody really expected, you know, what ends up coming. This time around, I think it's just too obvious. It's just too good of an opportunity to pass up, to do an Australia map, to cover Australia, to give us some of those Australian species, give us a map, you know, with a lot of new species. It's something that the community wants so bad, probably more than anything right now, is to get some new species, some new ecosystems, new terrain, stuff that we haven't seen atmospherically, you know, graphically, that we haven't seen in the game up until now, and just really get the community really excited. So Australia, if they are going to do Australia, that begs the question, what great one are they going to do? Now, we know that the great ones up until now have all been on Leighton Lakes or Hirschfelden. They want the great ones to be on the base map so that they're not behind a paywall. So that leads me to believe that if they are going to do Australia, which I really can't imagine them not doing, that leads me to believe that they must be doing a great one fallow deer. A great one fallow deer would fit perfectly on an Australia map. Of course, Australia does also have, I believe they have wild boar. They do definitely have feral pigs, but really the only possible thing that they could do if they're going to do a base map, great one and Australia, and if they want that great one to be on Australia, of course that new great one doesn't have to be on Australia. We've seen that in the past with the black bear, for example. When Revontuli came out, the great one was not even on that map. So, but I believe moving forward, I think the smarter way to go about this is to make sure that that new great one is on the new map, and just you know, more hype. It's more exciting that way, obviously, and hopefully they're on that same page. And yeah, I can't imagine them not doing a great one fallow deer if they are going to do Australia. It's a perfect fit. A lot of people want to see great one fallow deer added as the next great one to the game, and the perfect way to do it would be to drop a new map for them and drop the great one. And what a perfect opportunity to do both Australia and get that great one fallow deer out. Personally, for me, if they did the great one fallow deer right now with the current, just the 2 maps, I wouldn't be super excited. I would not personally want to really grind them on Tiaroa. I think that would be a lot like the red deer grind on Tiaroa, and I think I would get bored of that pretty quick. It's just such an easy grind. We would just be seeing, it would just be like red deer all over again. I think just an absolute oversaturation of great one fallow deer throughout the community and in the trophy lodges, and I think it would get old pretty quick. But I think if they did fallow deer on Australia, give them a really good, maybe a smaller home range, make them a little bit more difficult to hunt, but make them very grindable, I think it could be really good and a really good move to do fallow deer with the great one on Australia for a brand new map. And I think an Australia map could be incredible. An Australia map could have so many different species, different biomes, different ecosystems. I really hope that if they are going to do an Australia map, they're going to cover some of the different unique biomes and ecosystems that Australia offers, because it is really cool the way Australia is kind of set up. There's a lot of different atmospheres and environments and ecosystems throughout Australia. We'll get back to that though. I want to talk about the different species that could be on an Australia map, and there's a lot of different ones, a lot of different unique species that are only in Australia. So we could be seeing a lot of new species added to the game that we haven't seen before. So sambar deer and rusa deer are in Australia. I think those would be two amazing introductions to Call of the Wild, additions to the game that we haven't seen. Of course, fallow deer and red deer are in Australia as well. Chital deer, also known as axis deer, are in Australia. So we could have a second map for axis deer, hog deer, Tasmanian devil. Okay, would be really cool, I think, in the game. Water buffalo on a second map. They could also do banteng, camels, feral pigs, feral goats on a second map, I think would be amazing for the game. Kangaroos, of course, kangaroos and wallabies, crocodiles. We've already got the models, right? The alligators, they could tweak those a little bit, make them a little bit bigger, and do the saltwater crocodiles in Australia. Possums, different species of snakes, if they want to go that route and start doing some snakes in the game. Even if they're just cosmetic, I think it would be really cool to see some snakes slithering around the grasslands and the woodlands of, or the tropics even of Australia. I think it would be super cool. Red foxes could be on another map. And then we've got emu, quails, pheasants, partridges could finally be added to the game. Would love to see partridges in the game. Australian shell ducks, whistling ducks, lots of different duck species. And yeah, lots of amazing opportunities for the game when it comes to an Australia map. But back to the ecosystems, we're talking about, you know, the Southwest Mediterranean forest, the woodlands, the shrublands, the kind of Western Australia woodlands and shrublands, the deserts and the dry shrublands in the west of Australia. And then you've got the tropical and subtropical areas, Queensland in the northeast of Australia, or you go down into the southeast of Australia with the broadleaf and the mixed forests, with the Victoria region beneath with the grasslands and the shrublands. Lots of different ecosystems in Australia. I would hope that they would kind of do different biomes. I would love to see more maps doing kind of different things, kind of like Yukon, right? In Yukon, you've got the burnt forest area, you've got kind of the wetlands in the middle, right? And then you've got the lakes down below with the very open kind of sprawling grasslands in the middle with the lakes. Then you've got the river off to the right. Lots of different things going on in Yukon. And I would love to see the same thing with Australia. Maybe some varying weather changes, weather patterns, and different biomes in different parts of the map, I think would be really, really cool. So the thought of Australia in Call of the Wild obviously gets me pretty excited. I think it's the perfect opportunity to do a Great One fallow deer. I know a lot of people really, really want a Great One fallow deer. I think it would be maybe the most exciting Great One when it comes to the different options from Leighton Lakes or Hirschfelden, and I think it would do really well. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to see an Australia map next? Do you want to see a Great One fallow deer? Are there any other species that you would want to see added to an Australia map? What would your favorite species be that you would like to see on an Australia map? Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you want to add to the conversation. But thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. We're getting close. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.